Thanks for tuning into the Ontario ReShard show today. We have a Pasadena, Texas native. He's an incredible music artist and praise and worship pastor as well, and great songwriter. We played several of his songs from Provider, Another Way, Death, Penance, and so many more. You guys are constantly requesting his music on a daily basis. So it was only fitting that we had the man himself, the one, the only, Kaegan. How you doing, brother?
Doing good, Ontario. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's definitely an honor to have you on. I know you could have been doing anything else, but you're here with us today, so we definitely appreciate it.
It's an honor, man. I appreciate y'all having me.
Yes, sir. Of course, this is your first time being on the show, so just to break the ice, who's Kagan away from the music?
Dude, Kagan is a nerd. He loves Star Wars.
Yeah.
Kagan is a not in the music sense, but I love to draw. I love to paint, man. Dude, I'm super active. I love going to the gym. I'm super involved with my church too. Here in Franklin, Tennessee. I go to Life Change Church. Dude, I just love being involved in the community. I love just being connected with people in general. But that's me. C'est
Yes, sir.
moi.
Yes, sir. And of course, as we mentioned, you're from originally from Texas. Of course, I got to ask you, it's college football season. So,
Yeah,
are you Texas Longhorn, Texas A&M
you're gonna,
Aggie?
dude.
Who are?
I'm about to disappoint you and a lot of people listening. I am not a sports guy, and
It's all
so,
good.
dude, for being from Texas,
Yeah,
I have to say I'm just gonna whatever is Texas, I support it.
yeah.
I go with whatever team has the best colors that particular game. So
Yes, sir.
I don't know if I have the best answer for that.
That's actually a pretty good answer because that way you don't upset any of your fans. So you're good. That's a great
Pretty
answer.
much, I guess.
That's a great answer. Do you have any fond memories growing up in Texas?
Dude, I have so many. My parents, they were worship ministers it's called Church Triumphant now in Pasadena, Texas. We were there for 7 years, so I had just a boatload of memories, specifically going to like Casa Ole or Papacitos in Pasadena. I think it's in Pasadena. In fact, like we were there just a couple weeks ago. But when I was a kid, my parents they they would get us dogs and stuff, and we lived in like this small trailer right on the church property because I mean we were a worship pastor family. We didn't
Yes.
make a ton,
Hmm.
but we were on the property, and dude, maybe this is a good memory or not, but we went through dog after dog after dog, and
Hmm.
it just was not working out. But I feel like those are good memories. We had a neighbor that was right across the street from us. I can't remember her name, but I would always go over to her yard and she knew I was there, but I would take some of her pecans and I would just munch away. That was the life of 5-year-old Kagan was some shorts and a handful of pecans. So
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
times, dude.
Yes, sir. I love those things too. Like we used to have a tree back in Florida, so I definitely can relate. I ate quite a bit over my lifetime, probably more than I should have.
Dude, this lady
Yes.
was the sweetest though. I would go over her house and she would not only let me eat all of the pecans that I wanted, but she would let me play with her and do some puzzles and things like that when my parents were working at the church. So it was a good time. I
Awesome.
loved being a kid.
Yeah. And I gotta ask, like, what inspired you to even want to get into the music industry? Because being in the music industry is one thing, of course.
Yeah.
Then singing at your local church is one thing too,
Yeah.
because you sing in front of family and friends. But when you go out and about and these different events, it can sometimes be complete strangers. So, like, what gives you the confidence to even want to be in the music industry, and what has kept you in? Because it can be up and down things
Yeah.
sometimes.
No, for sure. For the first part, I guess what inspired me to get into the music life, dude, really, the blunt answer is I was really just raised in music my whole life. So
Hmm.
it was always a part of both me and my brother's childhood
Hmm.
growing up.
Yes.
And as life went on, we just got more involved with the churches we were at. We were
Hmm.
just doing music anyways. And one day when I was 13, I just wrote a song. It wasn't
Hmm.
really good. It wasn't very good at all. But nonetheless, I wrote a
Hmm.
song and my parents liked it enough at the time when we were in Ohio. We were
Hmm.
pastoring a church for like 6 years.
Hmm.
And they're like, you know what? We're going to go ahead and do this song. And that was the first time that anyone ever sang a song that I wrote.
Hmm.
So really, it was just a part of my life ever since I was a kid.
Hmm.
When it comes to getting into music itself and trying to write songs and
Hmm.
perform, and I guess you could say just finding the courage to get up in front of people you don't even
Yeah,
know, sometimes
yeah,
thousands of people,
yeah,
it is terrifying. The
yeah.
one thing that keeps me doing it is the fact that when it comes to why I write music, it's to write something that could potentially change somebody's life. Not that I'm doing it, but the one through me is doing it, you know? And that is my goal, and that's what makes all the fear and all the nervousness just go away, you know? And that's the main reason why I'd want to keep doing it, is to try to minister as many people as I can before either the Lord comes or Kagan is no more.
Yes, sir.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. And of course, with that particular song he was talking about, ladies and gentlemen, he had wrote that with his brother, Jonathan, correct?
So one I wrote was years ago, and
Hmm.
no one's ever gonna hear it. It sucked. But the song that I think you're talking about, Penance, I did write that with my brother, and that was the
Okay.
very first song I ever released as a
Hmm.
solo artist in 2021.
Hmm. Okay. So I guess maybe we'll get it later in life with the Vault collection, maybe.
You know what? You know what? Let's keep that one in the vault. Nice, it's, airtight,
Yeah,
locked,
yeah,
and thrown in the very, very, very back.
yeah.
But you never know. Someone
Yeah,
could probably just scour the internet. It's probably there
yeah,
somewhere.
yeah, yeah. Our uncle probably released it sometime. Because I noticed I brought that up because a lot of artists, of course, they're doing the singles and the EP thing,
Right.
and then they going back and doing releasing like demos and the
Yeah.
Vault collection. So that's why I brought that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
This one will never see the light of day.
all right, all right. And then of course, the industry they can put different titles on their music. But how would you describe the Kagan sound?
I would say it is, when it comes to the goal of the sound, is to inspire thought. So I would want to say it is analytical, it is intelligent, but it's also full of love. So I want people through my music to be able to hear the words that I'm saying and think about things that I'm saying. It's not so much about like, oh, Kagan knows how to say things well. It's it's more on the lines of um, who I'm telling them a story about, you know? And I'd want to say that it is intellectual, but at the same time, it's down to earth and it's full of the love of Jesus Christ.
And of course, how would you describe your musical journey up until this point? Uh, I guess another way to ask that too is being an industry what you thought it was going to be, or is it you still learning along the way?
Oh, it is up and down, up and down. It is hills and valleys, my man.
Hmm.
It it's definitely more than what I thought it would be. And it's
Hmm.
more in regards to the relationships that I've been able to build. I did not
Hmm.
anticipate having so many friends that were real friends, you know? And the Lord has definitely let me acquire a lot of amazing people to just keep in my phone, I guess you could say, as people I can just dial up at any time if I need to talk to somebody. And I've also with the musical journey of Kagan, if you want to put it like that way, it has been a wonderful thing for me to walk through things that I have walked through, because then I can take the experiences that I have, I can take the trials, the sorrows, the victories, and use all of those experiences and just point people right back to Jesus. And um, I love being able to learn from other people as well. And that's something that's been amazing throughout this musical journey is I've been able to grow as a person, as a man, and as a brother and a son, in so many ways. And that's been the most amazing thing about being an artist is I've been able to just accumulate all this knowledge and all these people, and I just love it. That's been the best part of the journey so far. It's that particular gaining friendships.
Hmm. Yes, sir. I always tell people it's all about the networking part of it because you never know
Yeah, you
who
never
you
know.
meeting. Yeah, yes, sir. And then to move along, of course, can you share the stories behind the songs Penance as well as which we play quite a bit of yours? I'm trying to see which one we want to go with. Yeah. Let's go with provider.
Okay, dude,
Yeah.
you picked some good ones. So Penance, man. So that one, my brother and I wrote it back in, I think it was 2019, actually. We wrote parts of it in 2019. And years went by, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and give this solo artist thing a try. And I just wanted to take a whack at it. And I didn't really actually know what I was doing production wise, right? So I sent a gentleman by the name of Benjamin Backus a bunch of my songs, and he said this one stuck out. So he's like, "Can you tell me the story of this song?" And when my brother and I were originally sitting down to write it, we were wanting to write a song that was basically talking about like how humans and mankind, we weren't meant to live with the guilt and shame that we sometimes bear. Humans weren't designed to hold on to that, and to walk with that on the daily or even go to work and they're still thinking about something that happened yesterday. They're like, oh my gosh, man, I wish I didn't do that. I wish I didn't say that. We weren't designed to live with that kind of guilt. And the whole purpose and the word penance, the title throws you off because you think it's going to be, it's going to doom and gloom. But at the same time, the song itself is going just one after another. I should say one word after another is telling you that you can be free of guilt and shame through Jesus. And he doesn't want you to live that way. He wants you to live above the guilt and shame, and he has better plans for you.
Hmm.
And I feel like we did that really, really well. I know I've had a lot of messages because of that song itself.
Hmm.
Some people were saying it's liberating and it's a very uplifting feeling song.
Yes.
I'm actually thinking about doing a laid back version, just piano, guitar,
Nice.
just so then the words can be really focused on. I
Hmm.
just feel like it's a great message. Um, but Benjamin Backus, when we were working together that very first time, and I didn't know anything about production, I know a lot more now. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
loved that song, and that's it. Just it stuck out, and that's where it came from. And
Hmm.
the other song, Provider,
Hmm.
that one was quite a journey. That one was
Hmm.
quite a journey. Literally,
Yes.
I was in this real rut, right, where I was
Hmm.
writing, like I said before, a lot of intellectual songs, and sometimes with those intellectual songs they
Hmm.
tend to get really deep, really
Hmm.
fast, and
Hmm.
sometimes you don't get out of it. I was writing a lot of those, and I was talking with my mom, and she's like, "Kagan, can you just write a song that just brings glory to God, just thankfulness?" I was like, "You know what? Yeah, I can do that. I have a lot to be thankful for." And so I sat down and I wrote the entire first verse and the entire chorus of Provider in one sitting, maybe like it was like 30 to 40 minutes, maybe. And I was like, okay, I don't know where to take this. So I was already in the process of trying to grow, like what we were talking about, connections or try to find other writing friends. And I reached out to who is now one of my best friends, Eleni.
Yes.
And
Great artist.
you guys know Eleni well.
Yeah. We
Uh,
just had her on. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
crazy. Okay. That's wild.
Yeah.
So I reached out to her and really it was just kind of like a shot in the dark. And like we've known we've known each other for a long time, but we've never worked together. I was like, "Hey, would you be willing to at least hear this song? Let me know what you think." And she was like, "Sure, I'll listen to it." I was like, "Great." And if she didn't like it, at least she'd give me some feedback. She's a great writer. So I sent it to her in an email. I get a text back or an email back at the time. She's like, "This song is awesome." And I was like, right on. So Kagan's my confidence levels skyrocketed. I was like, let's
Yes.
go. And
Yeah.
so we hopped on a call and we started working on the song and
Hmm.
it just came together so quickly and naturally. We decided to put it out together. And Provider is just a wonderful, I want to say it's not just my expression, but now it's a Lenny's expression too, and so many other people's because a lot of people have just accepted that song, and it's one of my most popular songs. And I'm just so thankful to the Lord for that song. But it's such a great, fun way to just express thankfulness and gratitude to God for being our provider in every situation, whether it be good or bad. It's just a wonderful telling of someone's
Hmm.
story or their how he's never left you when you're suffering, and he's always been there in every single
Hmm.
scenario. I just love the song Provider.
Yes. And if you don't mind, can I ask about one more?
Yeah.
I want to hear the backstory on here in the valley.
Oh, here in the valley. Whoa. Yeah. So that song. So let me take you back a little bit. So when I was 16 years old, I came across a lot of mentors, mostly because of family connections and things like that. A gentleman by the name of Jaron Davis, he got me connected with another gentleman named Joel Lindsay. Both these guys have just been rocks when it comes to my songwriting world, and adventures. They've always been there for me in the songwriting side. And Joel Lindsay had these particular song gatherings, and he really just embraced me and my brother, and kind of like nephews almost. I see both of them as uncles. And one of these particular gatherings, I got to get into a writing circle with Matthew Malusi and Daryl Johnson.
Nice.
Wonderful guys. And
Hmm.
it was my second time writing with Daryl, first time with Matthew, and we just started talking through this song. It was, I believe it was, I can't remember who. This is the best part about songwriting, Ontario. It's you don't remember who came up with what. That's the best part about songwriting.
Yeah, it's always like
Um,
that.
yeah, it came from conversation, and we were just wanting to write a song um, that was really trying to grasp that idea
Hmm.
where the Lord is with you in the valleys.
Yeah.
But the reason I released that song, it comes down to this. Right before, so we wrote that song, I think in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
In 2018, literally maybe 5 or 6 months after I wrote that song, my grandfather passed away. And
Oh,
that song immediately God just brought that song back to my mind. And I started remembering those lyrics. I started remembering those words. It's almost like the Lord was reminding me, saying, hey, you already know this. You wrote it for somebody else, but you think you wrote it for somebody else, but you actually wrote it for you. And dude, I needed that song so badly. And as time went on, because it ministered to me so much, I was like, you know what? I need to put this out for others to hear it. And glory be to God, it has just been a wonderful song when it comes to the ministry side of things. I've had so many people message me about that song in particular and just how it's helped them through loss. It's helped them through whether it be like things going on at work or
hmm.
whatever. And it's just
Hmm.
it when it comes to the story of the song of why I released it, it's for that reason. It was originally for me, but then I realized other people have to hear this because it helped me so much through that particular time.
Hmm. Yes, sir. And I think it's definitely it speaks to people in multiple ways,
Yeah.
and I think yeah, it brings encouragement. Soon as the track comes on, it just boom, it got you, and it pretty much heals, wherever the person is broken. So definitely
Yeah,
thank you for that track
for
as well.
sure.
And we're gonna shift gears a little bit. This is where we really get to dig into the artist behind the music.
Sounds
Um, so, of course, nothing too hard. Um, we
good. Too
call,
hard. Let's go.
yeah, we call that a little, I guess, a little hot ones segment,
Yeah.
but nothing too hard, I promise.
Yeah,
So the first
just
one,
minus the chicken and the hot
yeah,
sauce.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So the first one we have for you, in your opinion, what do you consider to be your biggest accomplishments? One in life, two in your music career.
Sure. I think, and dude, I'm gonna get lofty with this. So just get ready. Just get ready.
Take your time.
One of my biggest accomplishments for me personally is I think growing as a person to where I know that I am a good friend and I care for people. And I know that may not sound like much to some people, but that took a lot for me to get there.
Hmm.
And I'm usually a very reserved guy, and I want people to know that they're loved, and I want people to know that they can be accepted. And sometimes that means I have to be uncomfortable. And now for me, it's gotten to the point where it feels so natural, where it's just I want people to know that so much where I don't even care about how I feel or how uncomfortable I am. And for me personally, when it comes to something like that I feel like is a major accomplishment, it'd be that. I'm a very hardworking person, and not just in things like when it comes to trying to pay the bills or
Hmm.
trying to make sure rent's paid
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
all that stuff, all the
Yeah.
fun things, car payment. But it's when it comes to a personal achievement, I'm very proud of me for being a good friend. Musically, just won an award for collaborative song of the year at the Canadian
Congratulations.
Salo Awards.
Yes,
So
yes,
yeah,
congratulations.
thank you so much. So that's been one of my favorite things so far. And not that this is I feel like I might be giving too much information away, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I'm proud of this side. I
Hmm.
am working on an album, my
Nice,
first full album. So I'm very excited about that. It's almost done, and that's
nice.
been a major musical accomplishment.
Hmm. And I hope to be at the next Canadian Solo Music Awards because Sherry just told me about it. So hopefully
Really?
I can be at the
Dude,
next one.
shout out to Sharon, man.
Yeah,
Vision PR Solutions. She is amazing.
yes, indeed. But she's been keeping me busy. She pretty much sent me her whole roster. Like, hey, I would like to get these
Wow.
people. All right.
That's so
So,
awesome.
so she pretty much had me set for the next month.
Well, dude,
But
we need to get coffee. If I can make it to the next one, we need to get coffee together.
yes, sir, yes, sir. And then the next one I have for you, when you look over your whole life, um, hopefully it's not too touchy, but uh, what what do you consider to have been your biggest obstacle in your life where you really had to lean on your faith to, to really push through?
Yeah. Getting past what other people think, I would say, has been one of the biggest obstacles.
Yes.
And I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but it was
Hmm.
so much to the point when I was 13 years old and I
Hmm.
started leading worship at church. I I was dealing with so much of that, and really it was just the enemy, right? But it's like I thought if I lifted my hands, I was showing off, and that people would think I was showing off. It was that
Wow.
bad. And even as it can come down to things like me doing a music video on the street on in Franklin, in downtown Franklin here in Tennessee. I had to dance in front of a bunch of people that I didn't know and just kind of had to get past that. But more on that spiritual side,
Hmm.
it wasn't just something when I was 13 lifting my hands and leading people in worship. I had getting past that part. It was also me being a Christian man and knowing that I want to follow after what the Lord has for me and I want to do what's right. And sometimes people will look at that and they won't agree, and my answer is, I love the Lord so much that this is who I am and this is what I'm going to do, even if you don't like me. This is what I have to do because I love Jesus. And that was a pre-made decision from years ago. 13, 14 years old. That's something I had to dig out. And like there are sometimes I still fight with that stuff. Sometimes I'm not afraid to admit that. Um, but yeah, I think like when it comes to something I have to lean on the Lord every single day, it's
Yes, sir.
that. I need
Hmm.
I need his strength and I need him to remind me that I'm who I am
Hmm.
because of whose I am. Not to be
Yes.
cliche,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
to be cliche, but that's the truth.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then, of course, you've had some incredible collaborations so far in your career. Like, uh, we already mentioned one from our system we just had a couple of days ago. Of course, you've done some stuff with your brother. You've done some stuff with Believers. But is
Yeah.
there like a dream, another like dream collaboration you would love to see happen? Whether it's with another artist or a producer?
Lord willing, I've already done collaborations with a lot of people that I just absolutely adore and love.
Hmm.
But if I had a dream collaboration, I have always looked up to For King and Country.
Yeah, yeah.
Always. I
Incredible.
love For King and Country. And to this day,
Hmm.
I was able to go to their Christmas concert last year.
Hmm.
And oh my gosh, like little Kaegan inside of me was just shaking with excitement, man. Joel was
Yeah.
walking by, and I was just like, you go, Joel. I was so happy, bro. And like, you want to see a kid like he's in a candy store, or a guy looking like he's
Yeah.
a kid in a candy store. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
Kagan at a For King and Country concert, 100%. So
Yeah.
my answer is For King and Country.
Yeah, that'd be incredible collaboration. I know Jonathan Traylor, good friend of ours now, since he's been on the program, we became friends or whatever. So I know he's about to do some more stuff with them. So
That's
hopefully,
awesome.
you guys can connect and make this thing happen.
Yeah.
Because I think
Yeah.
that would be an incredible collaboration, vocally and stylistically. I think it'd be pretty solid track,
Thanks.
or even a tour. That'd be cool too.
Dude, I'd be all over that. I'd be all over that. So, I met them one time in
Hmm.
particular, at Dove Awards. And dude,
Mm-hmm.
listen, for your listeners, I'm just gonna be honest. I had
Mm-hmm.
such terrible what is it called? Being
Yes.
starstruck.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was so bad.
yeah.
So bad. And I basically went up to Joel. I was stuttering and I was like an 18. So
Yeah,
I feel
yeah,
like that was a kid, right? I was
yeah, yeah.
18 and I'm just going and I meant to say you're even better. You're even more amazing in person. But I said, you're much better in person. And I was
Mm.
like, oh no. But he was so kind about it, dude.
Yeah, yeah,
I feel like he was like, I'll take it, man. I'll take it.
yeah,
He was
yeah.
so kind to me, but I feel like I said something so mean. But
Mm.
God bless him for being such a
I'm pretty
kind.
sure you know what you meant though.
I think he did. I think that's why he was so nice to me. But I'm very
Yeah.
thankful that my hero was very kind. So,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then, of course, when you're not doing any ministry work in the community or on stage singing, what are some of your hobbies you have to just relax?
dude, it when I said I was a nerd,
Mm.
get ready. So I love learning new things,
Yes,
and
sir.
I am in the process of learning French. So that's one thing.
Nice.
I like I said, I love Star Wars and I
Hmm.
love building models.
Hmm.
So you want to learn what I love to do in my downtime? It's
Yeah.
building and painting models. I love it. It is the best thing ever. And
Hmm.
actually, not to get too nerdy for you,
No, you're fine,
it
man.
actually it helps with someone that has a lot going on in their brain. I do. I
Hmm.
think
Hmm.
I am constantly thinking,
Hmm.
and doing something like a puzzle or
Hmm.
something that has instructions to it, it can actually calm your brain down and you can think
Yes.
clearly. I
Yeah.
kid you not. Dude, I've come up with some of the best song ideas while I'm
Hmm.
working on a model.
Oh, wow. Well, keep
I don't,
working on those
I'm not,
things.
I'm not saying the Lord's in it, but I'm just saying.
Yes,
But
sir.
that there's that. And I love hanging out with friends and drinking
Hmm.
coffee. I love
Hmm.
coffee.
Okay.
So good coffee shop, a good
Good.
model, and good people.
Yes, sir. And then, of course, I gotta ask. You lived in Texas.
Yep.
You lived in Tennessee now. So, who has the better food?
Oh, don't pit me again. Oh no. Okay. All right. Can I let me put it this way. When it comes to, I know Papacitos is not Mexican, that's Tex-Mex.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
when it
yeah.
comes to just Mexican food in general, I feel like
Mhm.
Texas does have it beat.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
But I'm be honest, I'm gonna be honest. The chicken here, the
Hmm.
places that you can get some solid chicken, it's
Hmm.
Tennessee, hands
Yeah,
down,
yeah.
hands
I
down.
agree.
Yo, really? Okay,
Yeah,
great.
I agree. Yeah.
I would say that. I love tech, but also at the same time, Ontario.
Hmm.
I lived in Pasadena for the
Hmm.
majority of my time in Texas,
Hmm.
so I'm worried my exposure to the fullness of all that
Hmm.
Texas has to offer in the culinary value is not exactly
Hmm.
amazing. But when it
Hmm.
comes to Tennessee, dude,
Yeah.
we can go down to Armavati, the Indian
Yes.
cuisine
Hmm.
down the street.
Hmm.
That's some good food. So I would
Hmm.
say probably Mexican wise, it has it. Texas has Tennessee beat, but I
Hmm.
think Tennessee's food is better. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, my fellow Texans. I probably have like five people going, and they just stopped requesting provider right there.
Yeah, so it's all good. It's all good. Of course, before you get out of here, can you share who has been the most impactful person in your life to help shape who you are today?
Absolutely. Can I pick two people?
Yeah, that's fine.
It's my mom and my dad,
Hmm.
100%.
Great answers.
And as you get older, it's amazing.
Hmm.
My relationship with them has changed so much. They've become my best friends, but
Hmm.
hands down.
Yes.
And I'm 27 now, and
Hmm.
our relationship really changed when I was like 21. And
Hmm.
the best way I can explain it is I have become very protective over my mom, and I've
Hmm.
become intensely like buddy buddy, not in a like a lack of respect kind of way,
Hmm. Yeah,
but
I
it's
get you.
like I can just call up my dad and just like, hey, what's up, dude? And
Hmm.
we'll just talk about what's going on.
Yeah.
But those two have been not just rocks for me when it comes to the musical aspect, but spiritual rocks.
Hmm.
They've been advisors, they've been friends, they've heard me cry, they've heard me laugh.
Hmm.
And when it comes to people that I give the most credit to, it's them. Because
Hmm.
even though you have all these mentors, you have all these opportunities and people that can come into your life and they can offer so much.
Hmm.
Those two, without them, this would never have happened. None of it.
Yeah.
And I am so grateful to God for my parents and just
Hmm.
how they have been. available and
Hmm.
willing to just invest, not just into me and a like as just their son, but as a friend. And I'm so
Yes,
grateful.
indeed, indeed. So big shout outs to mom and dad for
Yeah,
being very impactful in our good brother's life and helping him, create this ministry. For one, that you really poured into him and help him see things through and, being there for him in other ways as well. So thank you, mom and dad. Um, Also, too, I know you mentioned earlier that you have an album coming.
I
Uh,
do.
uh, Also, what else should we expect from you in 2025 and maybe early 26?
So I have a lot going on, and some of it is going to literally, there's just an announcement, and I saw, and I could be wrong, so you can correct me.
Mm,
I have something special with Mr. Demas Cortez. So
yes,
we're working on something very
yes,
special. That's
nice.
one thing. When it comes to the exact schedule of what I'm going to do later on this year and next and early next year, I'm going to keep a
Mm,
secret just because there's a
mm.
lot going on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I'm certain that when it comes to my fans, when it comes to my friends that are listening and streaming Kagan music, they are not going to be disappointed. And it's going to be in the vein that everyone has so far
Hmm.
just loved.
Hmm. Okay. I know Dean, he has some great music too. We just also had him on a few days ago too. So I'm looking forward to hearing that. I know it's going to be incredible. Um, Also, too, can you share like how uh, the listeners can follow you on social media for the
For
few that
sure.
don't already do it? And then, of course, also how they can sow a seed into your ministry and how the promoters can book you.
For sure. So what they can do is they can follow me on Instagram. That's Kaegan, Kaegan_music. And in my Instagram bio, my email is attached, so they should be able to find it there. I'm open to hear what they have going on. I would love to be a part of any church events, any youth events. I'm very, very loving of youth, and I would love to be a part of those events. And so if they can find me there,
All right. And then also, too, before we go, can you introduce, let's go with provider. Let's go with that one.
sure. You just want me to like just say,
Yeah. Just basically, your name and about to listen
yep,
to provider.
I got you.
Yeah.
This is Kagan, and you're listening to Provider.
Right, you heard from the man himself, guys. It's coming up right about now.